Hello, I'm Dawn. This is Yarn is a Sport. Thanks for coming by to Play Ball. Today I wanted to talk to you about yarn festivals. There's a lot of difference in the yarn festivals. Everything from the purpose, the variety of vendors and classes offered, and the size of the event. My friend Jackie from Crochet ADHD attended her first festival, and she's going to have a video. I'll have her information below. The one that she went to is Fiber Fun in the SIP. That's an apostrophe SIP for Mississippi. It was in Vicksburg, Mississippi, September 29th and 30th. She said it was very intimate, less than 20 vendors. Please do go and watch her video about that experience. We all have heard of the infamous Rhinebeck. That is actually the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. And to me, it's synonymous with a Rhinebeck sweater. You don't even have to have it complete and blocked. There's people that wear it as much as they got done, they wear it. There's people that aren't going to Rhinebeck that still do a Rhinebeck sweater. And my understanding is it's really a great place to go to meet people IRL on the hill. Maybe someday. I've been trying to go to festivals. I may have some new viewers. I have been crocheting since I was about 5, knitting since I was like 6. Pretty much self-taught from little booklets. I did get help from my brownie leader. But I have been doing fiber arts my entire life. Sewing, tatting, I enjoy them. The fiber festivals, and did you know you can get a degree in fiber arts? Had I only known. Never too late. I have to talk to the yarn caddy about that. But I've been wanting to go to the fiber festivals. And with work hours, it just wasn't possible. We retired in 2021. We had intended to travel in the RV, go to different yarn shops in the area, go to the festivals. It just didn't go as planned. In 2022, life kind of got in the way. We lost our parents. Things happened, just not festivals. And this year, I didn't get to go to one. I got to go to 2. So let me tell you about those. The first one I went to was August 17th to 20th. It was in Michigan, the Michigan Fiber Festival in Allegan. And that one, Allegan is a little town, southwest, central west part of Michigan. And the fairgrounds are on the outskirts of town. You can stay at the location in your RV, and it's reasonable. It's $35 a night. So we went in the RV, and what I really enjoyed with that were 2 things. One, it was great as far as doing yarn haul dumps. I didn't have to carry things, and it just made it convenient. It made it convenient to take a break. I made lunch, I made breakfast, I made dinner. So it was a little more economic for us that way as well. So it makes up for the gas difference because it does cost to drive the RV. The Yarn Caddy enjoyed it because he had people stop him and ask him if they could take his picture. He was all excited. This was on his back. But he encourages me, and he's very supportive. I'm very fortunate. So at Allegan, there were approximately 100 vendors. There were some tents. There were 4 yarn trucks. They also have a historical village, and they have some well-educated volunteers that will explain and answer questions. They have a church, a woodworking shop, a garage, a residence, a doctor's office, a railway car. It seems like they had a couple more buildings. And that would be a nice diversion, particularly if you go as a family. For the kids, they also had make and take for the kids, and they had a really wide variety genre music-wise. I just really had a good time there, as did my husband, the Yarn Caddy. I think, and then they had rabbits, sheep, goats. They had some other contests that we didn't see. They had dog herding competition, a dog herding exposition that was scheduled, but they weren't able to make it. Very nice. Really nice festival. But what enchanted me the most about it was the post-vendor hours. You saw groups of people, 2 to 10 people in a group, comparing yarn hauls, knitting, crocheting, spinning. It was definitely a place to go meet people and make friends. I definitely want to go back again. The next festival we went to was the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool Festival. Now this one is just a couple of hours from us, but we still took the RV, partly for the economy of making the meals. It was $35 a night there as well. The convenience, and I think you have a different experience if you're there all the time. This was September 7th through the 10th. It had about 100 vendors as well. There were only sheep, but there was a great variety of sheep breeds there. The education-wise, this one had things like courses on classes for farmers on diversifying their farm with sheep. It had classes for making meals of lamb. It had a fashion show that had fabric as well as yarn. And it had the state dog herding competition. And that was interesting to see how well trained the dogs are, and how it was just more educational with the sheep at this one, but it was still a great experience. At the first one, I have wool, and I have wool blends. but I'm trying to get more silk, linen, and cotton blends. I'd like to have my wardrobe year-round. So that was more what I was looking for. And I found the Miller Girls. This is 100% mulberry silk that I found. And what I liked about it is the color. It was variegated. Now, I will tell you, with 100% silk, you do not want to cake it. You want to hand wind it. If you cake it, it won't matter if you go inside or outside the cake. It's going to just tangle. So that's something to keep in mind. But you can see the difference between the hand wound ball and the colors and the skein. They do look different. I'm planning to do a cardigan with this one. I got some bamboo from my friend Linan, and I'm hoping to do a tank or a t-shirt out of that and use this for the cardigan. Then Robin was there at the Yarn Bird truck, and this is DK. Oh, I didn't tell you. This was 600 yards and it's lace weight. This one is from the Yarn Birds, but it's Queen City yarn. And this is 65% silk, 35% linen, and 245 yards. It's 115 grams. And with this one, my intention is to knit a fan and feather tea tank type top. Then from Wool Warp and Wheel. Now this vendor was clever. This one, they had a cart out by the register, and I think it was every hour, maybe every 2 hours, they changed the yarn that was on the cart, and it had a special discount while it was in the cart. I don't think they told you which ones it was going to be, so you would keep coming back and checking. I thought that was really good marketing. But I did buy from them Queensland cotton. And what I liked about this one, it's called Ocean Mist, I'm sorry. It's 100% cotton, and it has 186 yards. And what I loved about this one is the color. It has got a great variety of speckles and color. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I will be mixing it, using it in alteration for stripes with Lion brand acrylic cotton blend that has a rainbow stellina thread through it. I cannot remember the name of that one, but when I do make that one, I will let you know. I also got 9-inch needles. I think the whole secret to the 9-inch needles is getting them very short, because it gives you more mobility. If you do it longer, you just don't have the mobility. So that's my hint. You may need to change your technique and the way you hold it, but I think the whole secret is having that short. So when I saw these, I grabbed them because the other pair I enjoyed is short. Then they also had at Allegan a charity that had a table. And at this table they had books. hard and soft pattern books, knitting and crocheting. They had knitting needles, crochet hooks, hairpin lace frames. This is something that I intend to do a tutorial on after the first of the year. An audio book. And it was a donation, whatever you felt it was worth. And if you did $20, they included a bag. It's a nice bag. It has an inside pocket. So, and I think you noticed it had the logo on it. So I was really happy with that. Then at the Wisconsin Sheep and Wool, I met Michelle from DustysVintage Buttons. There's her contact information. She does not have a website. She has so many buttons. They are nicely done on cards they're nicely matched, they're nicely put together. She had some that were colors and sizes were the same, but they were a little bit different. Really well displayed, easy to look through. She had them coordinated by color. She had shell buttons from 1800s, turn of the century, all the way up through glass buttons from the 20s and 30s. She had Bakelite from the 40s, 50s. I think she had all the way up to the 70s, 80s. I think these are from the 80s, maybe the 70s. They're little buttons, shirt buttons with different colors on them. I don't know if I can really get a good, it's like a little rainbow. The glass buttons, I'm intending to use them on cardigans. I have enough of each that I will have some extras. These have what looks like glitter, but they're actually faceted from the mold. They're glass, and they have an Aurora Borealis wash on them. Covering my mouth, I'm sorry. And these are have a nice yellow with like a marble effect of gray and white in the center. You do need to be aware. It's not something I would put on a child's cardigan. If it's cold or you hit it hard enough, you will break them. But I am looking forward to figuring out how to use these. Then I have some videos that I posted in the last few weeks, right, a little bit ago, that were interviews. And one of them is with Mitchell Wool Company. Do that better. And they are out of Dryden, Michigan. And they have my new favorite shirt. I purchased this shirt and I am wearing it whenever the contractors are here at the house that we're renovating. There have been some issues. So, and I did wear my t-shirt. Mitchell's Wool is, I asked her how long that they've been farming, and her answer was 5 minutes. It was a wonderful interview. They are really trying to concentrate on natural dyes and keeping the entire process for what they sell made in America. So you might look them up. The variety of color, I was really surprised at the variety of color they had for natural dyes. And it wasn't a really, some of them were, but some of them were saturated in that it was a complete color, but it was more of a muted shade. They were just really beautiful colors. And then the other interview I did is with the Bernard family farm. Now, the Bernard family farm is from Bonnie, Illinois. It is the 6th generation that is taking over right now, raising up the 7th generation. I am familiar with them, and I met them originally with our RV through Harvest Host. But they do allow you to stay there on the farm in your RV overnight, one night. They just ask you purchase from their store, and their store has more than what they had at their booths, and they had a double booth. They have felted soaps, they have roving, they have product that's been made, they have a tour that they will give you. They have alpaca, Southwich, Dolly, which are like miniature sheep. They have Angora bunnies. They have water buffalo, cows, chickens, turkeys, peacocks. They just have a great menagerie, and their tours are just really well done. Something that the kids would really enjoy, as well as the adults. And again, I interviewed those two families, and those are earlier videos. I did have one of the places donate this. I did get some other, I got some, I'm going to say it right, Scheepjes yarn. This was through, and I don't have it with me right now, it was a pale pink with a little stellina that was like a clear Aurora Borealis pinky color. This is through Stitched Naturally, and they are official dealers. And they gave this to me for a drawing. So if you've watched to the end and you'd like a chance to win this cute little Dutch couple, in the comments, I would like you to put a comment about a festival you have attended or you'd like to attend. And then I want to do some shout outs right now. One of them is regarding the first festival at Allegan. I went there at the suggestion of Scheepjes from Chevy Rel, and she spent some time with me. We've been trying to meet up about 4 years now. I just want to say she is just like you see her on her. She was genuine to what you see in the podcast. She's passionate. She's caring. She is very helpful. She answered a lot of questions I had. I have contacted her, and she gets back with me and has helped me and has just a really wonderful person. But she will be, her contact is listed below for her channel, and it's just she's fun. She's prolific in her knitting. She explains what she's done in patterns. Then the other shout out I have is a gentleman that reminds me of Mr. Rogers. He's very soft-spoken. He's the same in person as he is in his podcast. I didn't spend as much time with him, but I did spend a few minutes a couple times throughout the Wisconsin sheep and wool. And his name is Christopher. I call him Mr. Christopher because he reminds me of Mr. Rogers. He has 2 podcasts. One of them is Flannel and Pearls, and the other one is At the Table with Flannel and Pearls. And what was great is in the Flannel and Pearls, he talks about his knitting. And then in At the Table, if you do not have a knit night, he does a wonderful job. He'll knit. He's got some relaxing music. And once in a while, he'll make a comment or a statement or ask you a thought-provoking question. I found as I was knitting, I would think about what he had asked. And it was just relaxing. I just really enjoyed his videos and meeting him. I think that's all I have for today. I want to thank you for coming by and watching. I want to remind you to enjoy your crafting. And again, thanks for coming by too. Play ball.